Random video review, Tom Fiddzy here, and I'm talking about WandaVision, episode 3. Continuing on from the last two episodes, my main thoughts of them was that it's obviously very heavily, at least right now, based on like an old US sitcom. And my concern then was, how long is that going to go on for? Because the old US sitcom stuff, I'm not really digging, I'm not really into it, and I'm finding it hard to connect to that part of it. But there was a few little hints, a few little bits of intrigue in there that had me hooked, because obviously the main plot of this story is that there's something very wrong going on. There's a kind of a Truman Show style situation, particularly with Vision, slightly something different going on with Wanda. She's obviously kind of in control of the world a little bit, or someone's messing with her, and the mystery is trying to find out what it is. But unfortunately, in order to get to that, we have to go through all of this like US sitcom thing, which is the world that her and Vision are like forced into. And this episode, even though now we're in colour, thankfully, so we're out of the black and white, we're now in colour, it's still, at least for the first half of this episode, in that US sitcom style, and I just, once again, was not really enjoying it. I'm watching it, there's a laugh track going on, and I ain't laughing, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the next hint. Thankfully, though, in this episode, we don't have to wait long. The second half of the episode was a lot of those hints. We had some really good stuff with Vision, trying to starting to figure out, starting to notice that things are wrong. And there's like a one point where he like glitches back in time, and then his thought process is more ingrained in the world. So obviously, he was breaking out at that point of, Wanda, there's something wrong with this town. People are acting strange. And then it just jumps, it like jump cuts back, and then he's like back into that kind of fake Vision again, buying into the world, but he's still not quite there. He sees a neighbor, and the neighbor's acting weird, and it's even made to look like all of the other neighbors are kind of aware, or at least some of them are aware, that they're not in a world that they should be. So it's maybe not just Vision who's in a Truman style situation. It might be other people they might already know already. I thought originally it was just going to be Agatha, but no, it looks like the neighbor is as well, knows more as to what's going on. So that's interesting, and seeing Vision figure it out. I think right now my favourite part of this show is seeing Vision figure it out, because I love the Truman Show, so I'm loving that aspect of it. I'm wondering if there was talk about Bermuda with the doctor, and the doctor's like, about small towns, it's hard to get out. I was surprised at that point that he didn't just run to the edge. I wonder if we're going to get something like that. Are we going to get like the boat in the Truman Show where, it goes into the wall, that classic scene where it's like the skyline? Because even in this, when Vision was outside, his neighbour's house looked like a painting, and like the field on the other side. I don't know if it was, but it just kind of looked like that. It felt like they were on a set. I'm not sure if they were, but it felt like they were on a set. It looked like they were on a set. So are we going to get that? We're going to see Vision running, and then he just smacks into a wall. Maybe his powers can't get through it or something. Because we know that there is a wall, because we see Monica Rambeau in this episode gets flung out when she starts to reveal to Wanda that she knows what's going on. We see her coming out, and it looks like a kind of a dome. Again, very Truman Show. So yeah, at the end, some really good stuff. I loved how the aspect ratio changed from like the square to the rectangle when we go out into the real world. So that's the hint. Check the aspect ratios. The aspect ratios will tell you what kind of world we're in right now. So yeah, that was really interesting. But the first half of this episode was just boring. The stuff with the children, like, are they real children? Are they fake children? What's going on there? Is time distorted or something? Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's why she was pregnant so quick. Maybe, like a dream, how you can only be asleep for like a little bit of time, but it feels like forever. Maybe this is like a reverse thing where she's asleep for a long time, but it feels like it's only a little bit. Maybe she was fully pregnant in real life, or maybe they are just fake children. Maybe that's how at the end of it, she's going to end up with like half synthetic children or something, like kind of creates them. Don't know. Have to find out at the end of this series. Yes, I'm a little bit confused with the children. Are the children real? Are they fake? Are they all just part of the dream world? But it'd be interesting to see how quickly they grow up as well, especially if we're like jumping the decades and stuff. Because if you read into the comics, they are characters in their own right, characters with superpowers as well. So are we going to see that they're kind of like, their children are like kind of different, like slightly different versions of like Quicksilver and Wanda anyway? So are we going to get that? We're going to get a new speedster in the Marvel universe. So that'll be quite interesting to see. But overall, this episode, it was still too mixed for me. It was still too unbalanced. One half of the episode, the beginning part, I wasn't enjoying too much. The second half, I was really enjoying, getting all the speculation going, getting into the hints and stuff. But I'm afraid that that's going to be how it's going to go for the next few episodes. Like, is the next episode going to be very much home life, Vision and Wanda messing around doing stuff in like a sitcom world, and then at the end get hints? When are we going to start getting into episodes where it's mostly just that heavy plot line of what is going on, what is the dome, what's going on with Wanda? Is Vision that we know? Is it like a remnant of him? Is it just a memory? Is he going to figure it out? Is he going to kind of become almost like an antagonist a little bit to Wanda as he tries to be like, escape from the world, go to Bermuda, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely still excited for the series. It's just right now I'm just not enjoying watching it. I really feel like it should have been a series that got binged. Release them all at once. It would have worked a lot better, I feel, because at the moment there's a little bit keeping me watching next week, and obviously this YouTube channel, but I do wonder how many people are dropping off, because even though it is picking up, I don't know if it's picking up fast enough. It'd be interesting to see how the internet goes. I'm reading a lot of reviews about it, and I think a few people were kind of like me with the first few episodes, in like, I'm going to stick with it, but I'm not enjoying it. The only kind of thing that in like the sitcom half of this episode that I was really enjoying was the bit with the Stork. It wasn't really just explained, it just came alive and then walked around. But that was the only bit that was really kind of making me laugh. So yeah, mixed episode this one. I'm more excited for next week because I'm excited to see Vision slowly uncovering the truth. That is the subplot that I'm most hooked on at the moment. And now, once again, we went back outside. We saw some more people in the outside world. Next week, are we going to see a few more? So yeah, increasing high hopes for this series, increasing interest, but still heavily unbalanced.